Good evening, everybody. Thank you, Deepak sir. I think so. A lot of people of you know me in this room. Of course, this is my first presentation formally from Data Safeguard. I have always been known for my cybersecurity. I've been for the last 24 years. I've been in the field of cybersecurity. So first time, data privacy comes my way, and of course, this is a new field for me as well. But then before I start, I want to throw a question to everybody. Of course, before I set the tone, anybody, I would like to ask, would anybody would be aware of PII and PHI? Anybody would like to, the full form of PII and PHI? Please, anybody? Because I want to set the tone.
Personally identifiable information.
Absolutely. And PHI? Not from you, sir. Protected health information. So that's what, is data privacy all about. Because we all know, cybersecurity was always there for the last 20 years. And it's been growing, and, we all know that. But now, is a time when the PII and the PHI, that has to be protected. And in the coming years, everybody is going to be nervous about that. And, we have to protect that because the synthetic frauds are increasing and we need to protect that. And if you ask me, there are a lot of, frauds which are happening in the last few years, and we have to be, vigilant that we have to protect that. And, if you ask me, we Data Safeguard, we got incorporated 3 years back. That was during the, as we were going through the COVID time. And 1 year we were in the stealth mode. And 2022 when we got active, and we acquired few customers in US. And few days back, we opened our R&D office and support center at Bhubaneswar. And we have headquartered out of Santa Clara. And we are slowly and steadily, expanding our wings across the world now. And we were recently awarded by Microsoft, by the most, innovative company in US in terms of data privacy. But then that's what our focus is, of course, solving data privacy. And of course, data privacy is the first line of defense. That's what they say. And we've just partnered with the likes of Azure. We're there on the marketplace now. We're there with Oracle, Snowflake, Salesforce. So that's all, happening with us. And of course, we are trying to make a move across the globe. But I want to, focus on this one. The spend of cybersecurity was always there. If you see 2023, there was a spend of 175 billion on data on cybersecurity. But now we're shifting gears. In the next 3 years, there's going to be a spend of 150 billion on data privacy. And then synthetic frauds, there's going to be a spend of 175 billion. So you can see there's going to be a lot of focus on data privacy as well as synthetic frauds. So we need to be vigilant enough that there is going to be a lot of things happening on data privacy. 20 years ago, we all knew that when cybersecurity started happening, there was we started with the AVs of the world and the firewalls, and slowly and steadily everything started happening. But now, in the next few years, data privacy, because nowadays synthetic fraud will happen. In synthetic fraud, what primarily would happen that we're going to create Frankenstein identities. In that, suppose I am there, I will use my first name, somebody else's second name, somebody else's Aadhaar card, somebody else's driving license, and I'll create a fake identity with these 4 identities. And 4 identities, I'll try to use a Frankenstein identity, and I'll create a fake identity, and then I will try to use that. Of course, that won't exist, but then I'll go into the dark web and I'll try to create something. So, but of course, that is the, a kind of a synthetic fraud which I'm trying to create. But then that is what, we are going to create. But if you see the PII elements, there is so much of data which is being created. In 2019, there were 219 PII elements which were associated with one single human being. But as we go along, in 2025, it is expected that around 1,800 PII elements is going to be associated with one single person. That means, more and more policies, credit cards is being associated. More and more numbers are being associated with one single person. That means there are more and more chances of frauds are increasing. More and more synthetic frauds are increasing. Of course, and then of course, with this, last year around 700, known breaches, and each breach was costing around 10 million, dollar, 10 million USDs. So of course, more and more synthetic frauds were happening. So of course, our endeavor is to reduce these synthetic frauds at Datasafeguard. So with, and with this, one is, of course, these synthetic frauds are increasing, but as these synthetic frauds are increasing, the regulation acts are also getting more and more, scrutinizing. In India, with the DPDP Act, which came into existence last year in 2023 August, more and more fines will be levied on the industries. Other side of the world, in US, CPRA, the California Protection Regulatory Act, in UAE, NISA, the National Electronics Standard Act in Australia and elsewhere. All these acts are already very, very vigilant. But in India, I'm sure in the next 1.5 years, the DPDP Act will come into play, and fines from 5 crores to 250 crores, depending upon the size of the organization, and many more will be there. And of course, nobody wants to pay those kind of fines. And we would rather want our data privacy to be in place rather than paying these big fines. So you go through a synthetic fraud, and then on top of it, you pay fines. There'll be double trouble for you. You don't want that to happen. So to avoid that, of course, we've come up, with 7 tenets of our data privacy, which is our ID Redact, which is our own, patented product, and ID Mask. ID Redact is already there in the market with us. And of course, we have 7 tenets to it, and each tenant, it's got a full-fledged functionality. And the first one is saying, is consent management. Consent management is, what consent management does is, we take prior approvals. In consent management, the user gives consent where, what all data has to be shared to the third party. So that is there in the consent management. Then the second is confidential data discovery, wherein, whatever the PII and the PHI sensitive, non-sensitive data, whatever has to be, detected, identified, and confirmed, that gets collected from all the databases, data lakes, so that gets collected. Then the third one is privacy impact assessment. So we do a privacy impact assessment where, whatever privacy risks, whatever fines, we can assess that as well. The third one is the data subject access request. We have, forms which are where all the data subjects we can modify, we can delete, we can add, so that data subject access requests can be made. Then this is the most important part, the redaction, where all the important, the PHI and the redaction can be done. Because, all the data which is flowing, downwards or the upward direction, which is the most, sensitive data, that data you don't want, the which can be stolen, upstream or the downstream, that data can be redacted. Then, of course, you have the compliance says, you can have logs for all the data which is there. With that compliance audit, the logs and the reporting can be done. And then the last is, of course, the privacy management, which we have all the standard forms of all the, like the GDPR, DPDP, we all have the standard formats of this, so we can compare, and that standard format is already there with us, because we have gone through exhaustive all the standards, and that's all the templates are there within our ID redact form. So we are also coming up with another 2 products, which is ID anti-money laundering and IT fraud. So this is in our roadmap, so that should also be there by the end of this year. So it's a pretty exhaustive product, which is for our data privacy, which is there. So behind this, is the IT redact engine. So this is, this supports real-time detection, identification of the of all kinds of files, whether it's CSV file, whether it's all kind of, whether it's PPT file, whether it's doc, Excel, PDF file. It confirms, it tags the file, whether the file is a structured file, it's a non-structured file. And of course, it supports all kind of standards, which I said, the GDPR, NIST, NISA, CPRA, the DPDP, all kind of compliances. The engine behind this, this is the heart behind the this is our own patented product. Of course, it is all driven by AI ML. So the cognizable computing engine, it is our own patented product. Obviously, our architect are behind this, the product which we have, done 3 years hard work, which has gone behind the product, and now it's being, used with this ID redact, which is there in the market. So all kind of standards, whether it's GDPR, which we comply through, a lot of healthcare where the HIPAA compliances are also there. So a lot of healthcare in US is also using this product, which is being used. So this is available in 2 flavors. One is, of course, it is available in the cloud form, and it's available, as I said, it is available in the Azure marketplace. And a lot of people, who wants it on the on-prem, because on-prem is, obviously it takes 2 weeks to, implement it. And of course, our team is there, which is our support team at Bhubaneswar, which, is there to implement it. And if somebody wants a quick deployment, we have a quick deployment on the e-commerce portal, which can be as quick as we can deploy it in few minutes. And of course, if somebody wants it in a enterprise mode, we can deploy it in the in 2 weeks time. And of course, now ID redact is available, and masking, of course, is a very, a lot of products are available which are there in the market, but then redaction is permanent masking, which is more, difficult, and not much of products are available there. So that's more, difficult to achieve nowadays. So ID redact is a much more powerful product which is there in the market. But in the, in the times to come, I want to end up, data safeguard will be, a big, in the times to come, data safeguard will be a future of the product, because as we go along, the PHI and the PII elements, as they grow along, it'll be, in the future, these products will be, as the synthetic frauds will be increasing in the future, our endeavor is to safeguard these the products and in these informations, and we need to safeguard all these informations. So as this goes on, we need to be vigilant and we need to protect this. So that's about it. I hope I'm keeping the time. Any questions, please feel free to ask me. Thank you.